Hola amigos, it's Jace here with my boy Leroy, and today I thought we'd talk about power chords, which is of course all you'll ever need to know to play the guitar. So, your basic power chord is either two notes, root and fifth, like that. You can see I've got, right now I'm playing the third fret of the bottom string and the fifth fret of the next string. Or you can have a three note power chord which brings in an octave, so I'm going to go 3, 3, 5, 5, and that's your standard rock and roll power chord. Most people do it either like that, first and third finger, got a nice middle finger stick up there, or myself included, I use two fingers, even better, middle finger sticking up, and that's just my favourite way of doing it. But there's some better stuff you can do. The first one that I love to do is if you go 3, 5, 7, you get this really beautiful open sound. I believe officially it's a sus2 chord, so since I've started with the G power chord, if I put that A note down at the 7th fret of the D string, it will be G sus2, because this note here on the 4th string at the 5th fret is the octave, the G, and I've gone up 2 frets. You can move that around and make nice sounds. So that's a real sweet one, the sus2. Another one I like to do a lot is adding a minor 6th. So it's not, a power chord really officially is actually root 5th, but I call them power chords because I like to play them on the low strings, and you can make mad riffs with them and use distortion. So once again, I'll base everything today on this G5 at the 3rd fret and the 5th fret, basic power chord. If you go up to the 6th fret of the A string, you get that really beautiful, haunting, dark minor note. And you can go back to the normal power chord, go from 6 to 5. Bit of vibrato there on the power chord, another nice trick to do. Shaking the power chord, see how the notes are moving. Good stuff. As well as minor 6, which is 3rd fret of the bottom string and 6th fret of the 5th string. You can do a major 6, which is at the 7th fret of the A string. Much happier sound. The Beatles especially, and many other guitarists, like to go from that power chord. That's a basic blues rhythm. But you'll hear that a lot in Beatles music, and they could either be playing a G chord or a G6. That could be what it says on the chord, but so that's a nice way. Of course you've got the bluesy style, but without being too bluesy. For you acoustic singer-songwriters out there and sort of Strokes-esque Wallies to add a bit of major chord interest to your playing. You've got, as well, the upside down power chord, which I reckon is mad. So, say you're going here, we're doing a G5, we've got the root note G at the 3rd fret, and the 5th note is D at the 5th fret of the A string. To make an octave of that G note would be here, G note at the 5th fret of the D string. If you just play those two, so instead of going G, D, we're going D, G, and it's higher. And you can make some 6 sounds that way. Smoke on the Water, in fact, everyone always goes. But the way you actually play Smoke on the Water is on the middle 2 strings of the guitar, D and G. You go. Bit of vibrato. So it's actually those upside down power chords, which in theory are even easier than a normal power chord because you're just playing 2 notes at the same fret on adjacent strings. The only thing is, this high note, the higher note of the 2 is the root note. So there I'm going G, C, so it's actually a C5. So today you've heard about some sus2 power chords, minor 6 power chords, major 6 power chords, upside down power chords, and you've learned to add a bit of vibrato to them, so that should get you started on some interesting ways to use power chords. Just before I go show you one more thing, the slide.